the real Knitwives of Hunterdon County. Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, sorry for the hiatus.
If you haven't been here before or it's been a while, this is our podcast.
Right.
It's all about knitting, crochet, spinning,
Random crap.
living in Hunterdon County.
Really just random tangents that I'll just like talk about randomly.
Yeah. And
anything that pops into my head.
And so thank you for joining us, taking time out of your day to
Why
watch
would you?
us crazy batshit nobodies on the internet.
You have better people to go watch.
Yes, you do. But we're really happy for the people that do continually watch us. And if you are new, welcome to the crazy world of the Knitwives. We will leave the apologies here. We're not apologizing for anything else except for the fact that we filmed episode 5.
We did.
Episode 5 was great content, but not great audio.
Maybe it'll be like, I don't know, like a bonus episode at some point.
I think maybe if we make it to a year, we could add it as like a blooper reel for how awful the noise is.
Yeah. It was really bad.
So we tested our audio tonight, and I think it was just the positioning of the microphone. So hopefully episode 5 part 2 is great. We'll figure it out.
We'll just call this the real episode 5.
Real episode 5. Okay. Sounds good. I think episode 5 is just, this is it. It's a catch-up episode. It's literally called Let's Catch Up. So if you haven't been tuning in, or we haven't been tuning in either, we've been so busy. We've been sick.
Yeah, I've been sick. You were sick. We both got sick.
Well, we've had so many life events happen. I started a new job.
You had your birthday.
I had my birthday.
It was in like a back alley. We almost got murdered. It was fine.
We went to Melovino in Union, New Jersey.
Literally in a back alley, and I almost got murdered. It was fine.
If you like mead or honey wine, it is a great place to go. Bring a board game, bring your dinner. And
bring 5 guys.
Bring 5 guys. Do with that what you will. But yeah, it was a great time. Yeah. I was so blessed to have a great chunk of my friends and people they're my family, come out and support me for my birthday. But yeah, you've had some crazy stuff happening to you too.
Yeah, so I got a new little puppy. I'm gonna post a picture. Penny. Yes, her name is Penny. She's a Basset Hound. So wild story is that my husband and I have fallen in love with Basset Hounds for like 2 years. We already have a dog named Bella. Just pop.
Big Sister Bella.
Big Sister Bella. We love her. And she's a fantastic dog. Probably the best dog in the whole wide world. Mm-hmm. That may be biased just a little bit.
No, she's a stellar dog. Like, loves greeting people.
She's more potato than dog.
She's adorable. She wears sweaters, and she loves rubbies, belly rubs, whole body rubs. Girlfriend is just loving on the loving.
Yeah. So we bought basically our dog and dog.
Yeah.
So basically, I went to AKC's Meet the Breeds in New York City. So that was held at the end of January.
Yeah.
And basically what that is there's a ton of dog owners and a ton of breeds where you basically learn about dog breeds.
Cool.
How to take care of them, how to, what they look like. Some of them I've never seen in real life. I've only seen pictures of them. Mm-hmm. So it was really a fun experience. I totally recommend it. And it wasn't expensive at all either.
That's really cool. And that's got to be a fun day in the city too, just getting to do that event, but also just anytime I'm in the city, it's just nice to explore new places.
Oh, right. It was a lovely day. Yeah
And we've had such a lovely couple of months. This winter, for whatever reason, I thought it was gonna be bad. It's fall spring. It's been 40s and 50s for the most part, with sprinklings of 30s and 20s, which
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
So continuing on with the story is that I met a lady who gave me a name of a breeder, And he is a fantastic individual. I talked to him for quite some time, and he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. What is he again? Is he just a breeder, or does he do other things?
He's also a florist, and when I was asking him about this puppy, because somebody decided not to take her, I was like, oh, like, when can we set up to get her? Because he's from Miami, so he's all the way in Miami, and I had to schedule a transport service to get her to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So
there was no time to go celebrate in Little Havana and have a good old time.
Yeah, because we work.
Yeah.
We can't just take a random, like, vacation to...
Unfortunately, we can't just jump on the jet and go down whenever we want.
Yeah, we're not that rich.
No.
So, he was actually in Texas before Valentine's Day because he's a florist. So he was helping look at warehouse stock before the big V-Day.
Biggest flower selection day of the year, probably, other than, like, people's birthdays, anniversaries, but, like, the like biggest, like, culmination of floral purchases.
And his husband, Ulysses, which is an amazing name, was home watching the dogs and couldn't prepare the dog for travel.
That's cool.
It all worked out. We hired this great service. The breeder was fantastic. Penny arrived. Basically, she was a scared little thing.
Yeah.
She was 3 days she spent 3 days in the car, basically.
That's scary for, like, a pet that, you know, is with someone that they know and love.
Right.
To be with, like, maybe someone they're not familiar with, that's got to be like, what the hell is going on?
But she's like she's just like Bella. She loves people.
That's good.
She could wander off with somebody and not look back at us.
Oh, dear God.
I took her to the vet yesterday, and of course she got the highest remarks on all of her health stuff. But she was so in love with the technician and the vet. Like, she just sat there.
Yeah.
She was not scared at all.
That's good.
And I'm really hoping that it remains that way because I just want to have easy vet visits like I do with Bella.
Of course. Yeah, no. Yeah. And it's probably been a long couple weeks for you since you've gotten, you know, like, having to prep for Bella and then finally getting her. Like, have you been knitting a lot?
So I'm on a hiatus, just like the show is on a hiatus. I have not picked up my needles or spun anything. Even before Penny, I just haven't had the motivation to, and that's fine. Yeah, honestly.
On the episode that will probably never air, we talked about this, where it's okay if you don't feel like knitting, it's fine.
Right.
The episode was going to be called "Dealing with the January Blues" or something of the ilk. It'll never be aired. But the whole point was dealing with depression and seasonal affective disorder and, you know, all the things that come with that, and trying to deal with, you know, boundaries with the craft and all that. It's a broad topic.
Yeah, and you don't need to force yourself. And so I know that I have projects on my needles. Like, I want to obviously finish the sweater that I'm working on. Yeah. But I didn't force it. I just was like, I'm going to play Splatoon 3 on the Switch.
Fair. But no, you shouldn't force it, because then you're not loving it. And if you're not loving your craft, your knitting, your crochet, whatever you're working on, what's the point? It's supposed to bring us joy.
Yes. Well,
let's get into the non-life things. Let's get into our bangin' FOs.
Yes. No. Like I said, I was on the hiatus, so.
All right, well,
no bangin' FOs.
For you, I've got 2 bangin' FOs.
She's been busy.
They're small, because we've been working on a couple sweaters, which are still in progress, but I'll show them to you. Well, first, I'll start with the lovely scarf that I'm wearing. I have not posted anything about this because tomorrow is my picture day for this, but this is the Venezia shawl. It's a 1 skein shawl.
1 skein wonder.
That ended up being 2 skeins because I wanted to add Suri to it. But that's held double. You don't have to use 2 skeins of fabric. If you just wanted to use fingering weight yarn, it was 75 grams worth of fingering weight yarn.
Wow.
Which on the yarn that I used, it was Asylum Fibers merino fingering yarn, and Wink. That was about 328 yards. So if you've got 328 yards or so of a fingering weight yarn that you want to use, it's a great project. I love the twisted rib that's in the middle.
It's like a fake cable.
Essentially, I like fake cables because they're not as scary as real cables. And then you've got a little bit of a lace. I'm trying to get that on. You can see the diamond lace pattern. Still learning how to use this camera, guys. Sorry. Haha. We'll figure it out at some point. You can kind of see it right here.
Yeah, the colors look great.
So my whole inspiration for it was like a Monet Impressionist painting.
Oh, okay.
So the two colors are not the same. They're both by Asylum Fibers. So I already told you the merino was the color Wink, which like a lilac lavender base with like teals and mustard and blush all running through it.
Right.
The Suri is the Asylum Fibers Suri silk base, and everything but the kitchen sink, which is very similar, but it also has a lot of olive tones in it.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that.
So it does, you know, it plays off really neutral. It's got a ton of different colors in it, so it'll pair really well with a lot of things. I like wearing it as like a necktie of sorts because it's not super like thick like a normal shawl.
Right.
So
it's like a shawlette.
Yeah. And I like wearing it like a Sophie scarf style, which I do have yarn to do that at some point. I just haven't started. But anyway, so that's Bangin' FO number 1.
Right.
And then I've got Bangin' FO number 2, which if we had ever aired the first try of episode 5, you would have seen the ribbing for this. But this is the Skogur hat, which I'm mispronouncing terribly. But it's a brioche hat pattern by the lovely Jen of JST Designs. I did this in... It's the Icelandic word for forest. That's all you gotta know. It's 2 fingering weights. It's Emma's yarn in Jackie O and Sprigs and Stones in the color Lake Blanca, which I picked these up from conversational threads in PA a couple years ago when I was on a yarn hike with my mom. I love that store. If I ever get back to that store, I will be buying so much more yarn. Because they were fabulous.
They were. I actually bought, so I went on a yarn spree for my birthday. My husband and I were vacationing in the Poconos with my family, and we went on a yarn spree. And we went to Conversational Threads. And we found this little basket, which had buffalo yarn in it.
Oh, that's where you found the buffalo yarn.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And my husband was like, you know, when are you ever gonna see this again? So he's like, no, just get it. Like, he was paying for everything. Yeah. Fine. I mean, listen, it's beautiful yarn. It was $75 for the one hank. I forget how many yards it is, but oh my god, I'm afraid to use it because I don't know what to use it in.
You know, we all have those skeins that sit on a shelf and they're literally just pretty to look at.
I just like to pet it.
Or pet. Look at or pet.
Yep.
Both fine options. Do not need to be used in a project.
I want to eventually.
Yeah, but you have to, like, it's got to be mulled over.
Build up the courage for it.
But anyway, so this is the Skogur hat, which I'm not pronouncing correctly, so do not come at me. It'll be in the show notes below.
You try pronouncing it.
I love this hat pattern. Next time, though, I will be doing it in a much more rustic yarn because I feel like the hat was designed in a more rustic yarn. And the purpose for these colors was that it was my Eagles hat because Eagles were in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost, but we're surviving and we're almost back to thriving. Yes, we're okay.
I was rooting for the Chiefs. I like Mahomes.
I also like Mahomes. It was a hard time because I also like the Chiefs, but family is Eagles fans through and through. So
and they were playing in Arizona too.
I know. It was like people were asking me, "Are you there?" I'm like, "No." Why would I be in Phoenix? No. Why would you want to be where the Super Bowl is?
Do you know how much tickets cost to go to the Super Bowl?
No.
Just for like nosebleeds, it's like too grand.
It's disgusting. And I would never want to be, even if I wasn't at the Super Bowl, I would not want to be in the city where the Super Bowl is being held because chaos.
Especially with Philly fans. They were greasing light poles.
I'm sure that Phoenix was a close second in destruction to Philly. Sorry for the banging.
I'm like, please stop shaking the camera.
This is going to end up getting deleted. Anyway, Phoenix is a short second to Philly after the Super Bowl.
Were they greasing the light poles?
It doesn't seem to be in too much destruction.
How many Eagles fans live in Arizona?
I mean, there was a decent amount from like what I remember from like Super Bowl parties growing up. Because there are surprisingly a strong number of East Coasters that have moved out that way.
Implants.
Yeah. So, like, my parents, who grew up in Burlington County, they were, like, in Philly all the time. My mom used to work in Philly, so... Anyway, those are my 2 banging FOs.
So, how about our whip corner?
Yeah. I'm just gonna end up being violent to you all night. It's been too long. Wee!
Please help.
This is good content, guys. Enjoy.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
yes. What whips do you have?
I just have my beautiful Buffalo Rose pullover that I'm still working on because in hiatus.
We split for sleeves.
And we're in Body Island.
Yes, and there's been much progress. There's a good, 4 inches?
Yeah, because I was knitting during Madison's birthday party.
Okay, so we had spent several hours previously at Beyond Yarn just hanging out with some friends, and because Beyond Yarn and the place where we went for my birthday were, 10 minutes apart.
Yep.
No point for me to go in the morning to Beyond Yarn and then drive home and then come all the way back. It made no sense.
Right.
So we were hanging out, and then she's like, so I'm bringing knitting into your birthday. I hope that's okay. I'm like, yeah, you might be the only one doing it, but sure. She got a whole bunch of Body Island done while we were just hanging out.
Listen, it was loud in there. They were playing games, and I was sitting on either side of the game, and I couldn't hear a damn thing because I'm old. And so I was just like, I'm going to be old, and I'm going to sit here and knit and just,
I love that you say you are old. I mean, you were chatting it up with Stephanos.
Yeah, but, for the most part, I couldn't hear anything. And I also wasn't drinking, so...
No, that's true.
I was just sitting there, I was like, I'm going to vibe, and I'm going to knit. And
fair.
Madison's going to deal with it.
You do you. If I don't need to take care of you, great. You can handle yourself. Anyway, I'm trying to count 3 whips to talk about that I made progress on because I did not take a hiatus.
She's full steam ahead.
I'm full steam ahead. I have made such progress since we showed the Cargill.
You look like you're holding it lopsided. You might want to straighten it out.
Oh, God. Is that better?
Yeah.
My one sleeve doesn't want to cooperate over here. So this one is still on stitch holder. It's on waste yarn because my other stitch holders were being occupied until this afternoon. I am working on the right sleeve at the moment, and I've determined that I think I'm going to reevaluate an elbow length sleeve because I tried this on and it's about 3 inches shorter than what I would want before the ribbing.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not a fan of my upper arms.
Okay, I can understand that.
Not I will wear a t-shirt in the summer or a tank top, but I feel more fabulous when I'm wearing an elbow length or longer sleeve.
Yeah.
And that's just me. And that's fine.
That's perfect. And this is a good lesson too if you, need to
mod a sweater?
No, if you need to just edit a pattern to how you feel, and if you feel comfortable in something else, if it's a short sleeve and you need to make it a long sleeve,
you can do that. You literally just keep knitting the sleeve, obviously taking into account that you don't maybe want to decrease so tightly. If it's a short sleeve, it's going to decrease rather tightly towards the end. You'll want to either proportion those decreases out or make a balloon sleeve and really like harshly decrease where you want to end your sleeve before the ribbing.
Yeah, or if you want to edit the body too, if you want more shaping, you can add more shaping on the sides.
You just do a decrease of, you figure in you want it to like take an inch in or half an inch in, you just know your gauge, you take out that many stitches, and then there you go.
You know, or just play by ear like I do and just, you know, test it out. If you like the decreases on the side, which I've tested before, you know, I keep it, or I'm like, oh, I could use it like a couple more rows of decreases, or
definitely.
Yeah, like you can become, you know, you don't have to follow a pattern to a T. I know a lot of people that are definitely new or definitely like really sticklers to the pattern.
God. No,
you don't have to be.
The pattern is designed by a designer. They probably made it in their size first to their body, like shaping
and their
however
comfort.
Their comfort.
Right.
You will have to mod it in order for it to fit you the way you want it to.
Right.
More likely than not.
And if your stitch count is off by 1, or just like, you know, it's sometimes like people freak out if their stitch counts are off. It's okay.
In the mighty words of Stephen West, say yes, don't stress.
Exactly.
There you go. But anyway, the other mod that I've done 2 other mods to this sweater, which are done now. I decided to do an I-cord edge. Hopefully this is coming up. You can see. Oh, wait. Maybe it will.
I like it.
Yeah. So I've decided to do an I-cord edge on the collar. I'm really happy because I tried the sweater on as I was doing the body. I'm like, I really don't need another sweater with ribbing at the neck. It's just going to stretch out. This way it's nice and structured at the top. And then the other thing I did was I made a split hem. So you can see I've got a bit longer. Well, it's not really showing because if it fits on my body, the back hem is about 1.5 inches longer than the front hem.
Okay.
It's also nice and cropped, so it'll look nice with high-waisted jeans or go nicely over a dress. But yeah, so that's my Cargill.
Oh, so that's where my stitch marker is.
I've got 2 more. I've got a lot of progress on this one. We have the whole body and a sleeve.
Woo!
Look at that sleeve. And I
beautiful.
still have a stitch marker on there. I need to move that over the other side. But yep, this is the Half Moon Tee by Dragon Hoard Designs and I finally figured it out. It's Galler Yarns Prime Alpaca Heathers. That's the gray. It's called Greige. Like gray beige.
You were saying something to me and I didn't understand
a
word.
Fine. It's fine. It's the yarn, Victoria. I'm telling you more about the yarn, which I couldn't find the label for. I finally found the place where I bought it. They restocked this yarn on their website. So I finally was able to, like, I remember what the label looked like. I just didn't have it. And I couldn't remember the name of the yarn company. But anyway, it's Galler Yarns in the Prime Alpaca Heathers base in Greige. And then it's Sweet Sparrow Yarns in Deep Sea, and then I forget what the brown is. It's like mustard or something. It's something basic. But it's really, really pretty. I've probably said it before on an episode, so go back on a previous episode and look it up. It's in the comments or the show notes. So anyway, we finished the hem. I had Ashley try it on Tuesday with the whole body done and the half of this sleeve done.
Nice.
So I finished this sleeve this afternoon. I filmed hella content, trying to show you how I was working the sleeve and the ribbing. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Instagram.
You know, because she has time for that.
Yeah, since working this new job, I have more time to do crazy shit, like film a million TikToks.
And now I have a puppy, so I have less time to do things like film TikToks.
It's okay. But anyway, so that's the Half Moon Tee. By the time this airs, Ashley will have worn it, and I will probably have taken finished photos of her in it. She's agreed to do a full photo shoot.
Nice.
Which is great, because this is not my size. So I can't model it. I mean, I could, but it would not fit the way it's supposed to. And she's just really pumped to get it. So I'm really happy that her birthday knit is almost done. It's going to be 2 months late, but who gives a fuck? Anyway, and then my last whip is my gather shawl, and I am 6 rows from starting section 4.
Yay!
It has taken a while, but this has been a good one for me while I've been at work to work on, because it doesn't take very much focus, and if I need to literally just drop it because a client comes in, or the phone rings, or whatever,
right,
I can literally drop this, and it's garter stitch.
You can literally, like, just yeet it across the room.
I have done that.
Yep.
And it survived.
Right.
So anyway, this is out of Less Traveled Yarns and
Brick House. Yeah, we've mentioned
Dear
that before.
God. And Sedona. It is the lovely summer cowl pattern that we did last summer with Beyond Yarn. And I've enjoyed this pattern. It is definitely one of those ones where if I need to be paying attention to people and I just need to do something with my hands, it's great.
Like if Dan comes to talk to you and says something important, you can listen to him.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, like, I can't do is if I'm reading something and somebody tells me something important, I completely miss it. I completely miss it.
Well, then I also then lose my place in the book and I don't remember where I left off.
Like, like, you could see that I'm actively, like, reading something if I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah.
And then Sean will come over and he'll say something important to me and then walk away. And, like, I didn't acknowledge, or say, like, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I have him repeat it and he's like, you don't love me because you don't listen to me. You
and
never
like,
listen to me. And I'm like, I do listen to you, but I was reading something.
Yeah, have the boundary that if I'm doing something and I'm not looking at you while you're talking to me, or you walked in and started talking to me without, like, even figuring that I'm knitting or reading or doing something on my phone, it's not that I don't love you. It's that you didn't take the time to say, hey, Madison, Tori, I need your attention for this amount of time. Are you available? Yes? Come back in 5 minutes? Hell no. Those will be the 3 answers.
Right. That's exactly what I asked of him. I was like, if you have something to tell me, say, Victoria, I need to, like, let me have your undivided attention, and then I'll say, okay.
Don't make me choose by doing half things.
Don't say something and then walk away from me.
Boys.
But I will say that with the whole puppy situation, Sean has really stepped up.
That's awesome.
Having a puppy is, like, a couple steps under having a child.
Oh, God.
Sorry to all the moms out there. If you feel insulted, but I don't care.
Ouch.
Like, of course, a baby is difficult.
You're gonna continue digging yourself a hole. Just go where you were going.
Puppies are also difficult. So he's really stepped up. I had to go into work twice this week, which meant that he had to deal with our older dog Bella and our puppy Penny. And
he's also dealing with her right now while we're filming at my house.
Yes, and honestly, he has been fantastic about this. He's been, making sure that she goes to the bathroom all the time, making sure she keeps to her schedule, making sure that she gets the right amount of food and that she gets playtime and, the care and love. And this is his first puppy. Bella was his first dog, and we've had her for 2 years. And this is his first puppy. And already he has paternal instincts, and I'm turned on by it. I'm impressed by it. I'm very happy with his paternal instincts.
It's very funny that we get into this topic because it's more and more I'm seeing in my own experience and in just everything else. It does not take a lot for a woman to be pleased by their mate.
We have such low expectations.
We have very low expectations. It's like, man takes out garbage, cleans up after himself, puts his laundry away.
So impressed.
Absolutely thrilled.
So low of expectations.
Speaking of fantastic mates, Dan has been great about the last couple of weeks since I've started this new job. We've had a lot less stress going on.
Oh, that's great.
And so we definitely have had time to just, reconnect with, like, our relationship. And every Sunday since I started this new job, we have taken time to explore Hunterdon County a little bit more.
Oh, that's sweet.
So the last couple of weekends we've been going to the Clinton Farmers Market, which was it's a really fantastic way to celebrate and support small businesses in our area. There's
it's also eco-friendly.
It is. It's great because all these small businesses, like, I'm not supporting big business at all. There's no, like, there's minimal, like, fossil fuels that are being produced from me shopping here. For one, it's not that far from our house, but also the people that are selling there are small batch, local, all the things that cause harm to our environment. Like, it's minimal because I'm not going to the grocery store as much, so I'm not, like, buying into all these big corporations.
How much were their eggs?
So there's one farmer at the moment during winter hours, and they were selling for $6 a dozen. But they're organic farm fresh eggs.
Okay.
So I haven't bought eggs there yet.
I will say that Sean did splurge on eggs this week at the grocery store. So
yeah, we splurge on eggs every week because Dan likes eggs.
Oh. We have not bought eggs for a really long time.
Yeah, no. Egg prices are skyrocketing, and Madison and Dan don't go without. But no, so this last couple weeks, we've gone there, and we've been buying our produce there.
Nice.
This last week, we also bought meat there, which it's a little more pricey than I think Dan was expecting because he's used to me buying everything on sale at a big grocery store. So, like, I might have bought, say, we'll use the example, Italian sausage. Like, ground Italian sausage to make meatballs or, like, whatever. I've normally bought for maybe $3 to $4 a pound. We just spent closer to $10 a pound for chicken Italian sausage.
Oh, boy.
From a local farmer. And Dan, literally, as soon as we got in the car, he's like, I never want to spend that much meat on a pound, that much money on a pound of meat ever again.
I never want to spend that much meat on a pound.
I know. Hoy. Words. But I'm like, listen, okay, so first of all, it's ground chicken. Ground chicken is much more expensive than ground pork.
Okay, question. Why is ground chicken more expensive than ground pork? Because you have to put them through the same grinder.
I don't know. Why it's so much more expensive. It's the same. They're both ground meat. I don't know why.
I would figure that the pig would be harder because I feel like it's harder to raise pigs and probably, like, butcher them, and, like, easier to butcher a chicken.
I think maybe it's the fact that there's just more meat on the pig to grind than on a chicken, so therefore it's less money. I don't know. Why am I getting the logistics of meat prices? I don't know. But I was trying to rationalize with Dan. I'm like, yes, it is more expensive, but if I hadn't bought meat on sale, it'd still be like $6 to $7 a pound for this. So we're really only paying $3 to $4 more for local meat. But we found a better solution, which it's not in Hunterdon County. It's in Warren. We live right on the border. But it's a local butcher.
Nice.
They butcher all their meat in-house. They also make prepared foods. We've been there also a couple of times since the beginning of the month, and they've been great. Their meat is fantastic, and it's not nearly as pricey as the ones at the farmer's market, which, whatever is the better price is what we'll end up buying. Positive experiences. I've also taken up making bread since I started this new job.
You could see the drastic difference between our two lives.
I'm enjoying becoming a homesteader very, very much over here.
I'm, like, dying inside because, like, I barely sleep at night, and then, like, sorry. I work all day, and then I come home and I have to take care of a puppy, and then I rinse and repeat.
This is not a good time for you. You have a lot going on.
I wish I was working part-time.
It was a really hard decision.
But I have a lifestyle that I like to afford for myself, and so I like to keep affording it for myself.
Fair. Yeah, no.
But let's get on to our topic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that was pretty much our most of our topic was just like catching up. So, one thing that we've mentioned that I meant to mention at the end of the last episode that did air, episode 4. Hedgehog Fibers, I found out after the episode aired, actually has a program where if you have scrap yarn, you can actually bag it up, weigh it out, bag it up, and send it back to them. And they've got a yarn that they sell that's got tweed. It's a tweedy yarn, and the scraps that you send them end up being the nips and the tweed. So, if you're interested, you can go check out on their website and how to submit everything, but they will provide you a discount code for dependent on the amount of grams you send them. Okay. So, if you send them 200 grams or more, it does not have to be of the same color, it just needs to be 200 grams of yarn.
All your scraps.
You will get a 10% off on your next purchase of Hedgehog Fibers.
That's pretty cool.
And then it goes up and up. So like 500 grams is 20% off, and then 1 kilo or 1,000 grams is 30% off. But there's more information. We'll post the link in the show notes about that.
But yeah, what about our adventure that we took?
Oh yeah, we do need to talk about that. Dear God, I'm forgetful. I'm Madison. I'm forgetful. That's why she abuses me. I'll get you back next time. Anyway,
she's gonna start stabbing me with her needles.
One of the things that has happened since we last filmed was Tori and I decided to take a little trip to a lovely part of our state, the Jersey Shore.
Not the Jersey Shore that you saw on TV.
No. We went to Red Bank and Avon by the Sea to two of our favorite yarn stores at the shore.
In the bitter cold.
The bitter cold. That day was like supposed to be single digits. And I also had her film outside pictures and boomerangs for content for the podcast.
A labor of love.
Yes. But also, you got donuts.
I did.
We both got donuts.
I ate donuts for days.
Dude. Listen, and I am all for this. Those donuts are worth the drive.
Yeah.
The yarn stores are also nice, but we dream about those donuts. Of course, we're talking about
One Spittin'
in Red Bank. It's fabulous.
So they make custom donuts. So these donuts are decked out. They are freshly baked, decked out donuts, and they have amazing puns like you see in Bob's Burgers.
Oh.
And so I absolutely love. I bought a dozen this time. And I brought them home, and Sean was like, "We're having donuts for dinner," and then. He sat down with a donut, like later on, on his plate. And he was like, "Oh, you thought I was kidding?" And I was actually serious. And he starts eating the donut for dinner.
Oh, dear God.
I'm like, I love you.
Yeah. And so you left with a dozen donuts. I couldn't decide. So I had decided to only get half a dozen. And then I had a donut there. And I had a donut on my way home.
Right.
So essentially I had 8.
Also they do have regular donuts, so you're like your classics, like your
just glazed, sprinkled,
jelly filled.
Yep. But our favorites, well, my favorite is their peanut butter jelly time, which is peanut butter and jelly donut.
My favorite is the Devil Made Me Do It.
Okay.
Which is basically death by chocolate.
And I'm trying to think of the other one that I really enjoy from there. I really enjoy their take on a cronut. It's fantastic. And I also really love... Which one did I love there? I'm trying to think. I had it on the freaking top of my brain. The cronut... Oh, they're... Dutch apple donut, which is like filled with apples on the inside.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
I like that
good.
one. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's worth the drive. But that's not really, I mean, that's part of the reason why we went down there. But we really wanted to check out the two yarn stores, Mother Knitter and Grace and Pearl. Grace and Pearl, I love the shop owner. She's very personable. Rhonda and I can talk for hours. Tori literally had to drag me out of there. And we went to Mother Knitter because you needed more yarn for your Cargill.
Yeah, I lost Yarn Chicken, and I wanted to go to Mother Knitter because let me preference, every local yarn store has something different.
Yep.
Which is a blessing and a curse. Which means that if you don't buy enough quantity of yarn, that means you have to go back to that exact yarn store and buy that more yarn. Yep. Which has happened to me more than once. And so I want to make my Cargill a little bit longer. And I want to tighten it a little bit. So I had to buy more yarn. And so, and this yarn brand is specifically for Mother Knitter, or you can only find it at Mother Knitter in the state. So I bought more Beachy Breeze fibers.
Okay.
So I mentioned it before as I was making my Cargill, and it was in the colorway Swan Lake.
Okay.
But this time I bought a ton of skeins of Glacial Ice because I love the colors. So you have that like bluish, purplish tones, and you have like ice. Like it definitely looks like
blue and like some light grays. It looks like.
Yeah, it like some, you know, on the whiter side, like a lighter side of white. Definitely, it's cool. It's definitely like a cool. So definitely want to make, I have a bunch of sweaters and shirts that I have picked out, that I want to do this year. And so I found, and it's a DK weight and I needed a DK weight. So it's like, this is perfect, and found the yarn for one of my projects. So it was like, yeah, awesome. Cool. Did you buy anything there?
There I bought a darning loom for socks because I have tons of non-knitted socks that are beloved, and now they're holy and they need to be repaired. But I also knew that eventually when I get into sock knitting, I was gonna need a darning loom. I'm taking Steen's class. It was supposed to start in February. It's now starting at the end of March. Don't at me, Victoria.
I will at you. I will constantly at you. That's all I will do.
All right. If Steen still had her class in February, I would have known how to make socks by now. Anyway, I bought a darning loom because I'm proactive. I know how I wear socks. So, and not wear as in like adorn them on my feet. I mean like abrasively use them until they're falling apart.
What do you rub your feet on sandpaper?
Pretty much. No, I like to wear socks with boots and like hard shoes, and I like wear them until they're like threadbare.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought a darning loom from Mother Knitter. From Grace and Pearl. I did make a couple different purchases, but the one I'm most excited about and I'm going to share with you today is for my eventual Sophie scarf. And which Rhonda has told me that I can definitely make 2 of with the quantity of yarn that I've got. So it is this lovely, as I make it combination.
I would like to remind the viewers that in one of our earlier episodes, Madison has swore, and I mean swore to the camera and to all of you, that, you know, she would be laying off the Mohair / Suri for the rest of the year in all of her projects. And in yet 90% of her projects have had Suri and Mohair since that statement.
Hi, my name's Madison and I have a problem. And I'm not sorry about it. Anyway, so this is Ba Yarns in their February 23 color. Obviously, for this month, this is their color. That's what they've named it. And it's the La Jolla base. So it's their superwash merino. It's this lovely magenta with some rust obviously it has to have rust.
Yeah, it's going.
And we're back. Little snafu, but this is the La Jolla Superwash Merino base in February 23. So again, you can see a little bit of like a tan, some like rust in here. I'm gonna keep hitting this table, I swear to God. This lovely Chelsea yarns in Mohair in the color Pink Peony. So it's just gonna give it a lovely pink fluff.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of them have been adding sparkle. So this I've been dying to use. This is the Kremke Stellaris in, it's their cream gold color. So it's their lighter gold color. They've got tons of colors. I'm excited to use this. I haven't used sparkle in a project before.
Yeah.
I don't typically like yarns that already have stellina in them because I don't like how they feel worked up.
They're very abrasive.
So I figured by adding a nice product like this, I'll see how I like it. I might add it into other projects. But yeah, this was my favorite purchase of the day of many from Grace and Pearl because I have a problem. But it's fine. But yeah, so that's going to be my Sophie scarf. And I have told myself that as soon as I finish up at least Ashley's sweater, because my other goal was to finish the Venezia. I didn't want to cast on another like scarf type project until that was done. But I'm going to finish up Ashley's last sleeve, which will hopefully be done tomorrow. And then I'll cast on the Sophie scarf. So I'll have some progress by the next podcast.
And so I also bought some stellina.
Ooh, cool.
And this is their beige silver. So you can see.
Very nice.
So what I'm going to use this for is that for my birthday last year, Madison got me this beautiful green braid of Shetland wool from Scotland.
Yep.
Beautiful. And, you know, I've been looking at this and I'm like, I want to do something unique with this. And I didn't know what. And then I found the stellina. So I'm going to be doing a 1-ply yarn with the stellina and the Shetland wool. I'm very excited to get my motivation back to do spinning. But once I do, I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I think that's great because, you know, it's still, you know, it's sparkly, but I feel like it's subtle sparkle with the fact that it's like darker.
It's not going to take away from the beautiful green that is the Shetland.
It's gonna look amazing.
Yep. And also, I caked up my yak wool.
Okay.
So I finished plying my yak. And so it's a 3-ply yarn. I caked it up, and I'm planning on doing socks because I think it's strong enough to do socks, but it's nice and squishy.
Okay.
Nice and soft, and I can't wait to use it.
Now you mentioned 3-ply. Were you messing with like another ply method or?
Yeah, so I was trying to do the 2-ply at first, and I figured it was too weak on its own to keep as a 2-ply.
Okay.
So I had a lot left over from doing the 2-ply, and so I, took another another bobbin full.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Another bobbin full of yarn, and I was able to ply it and get a nice 3-ply out of it. So it's stronger than the 2-ply, definitely.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much our trip to those two places. There's several other yarn stores that I think we need to venture in. Since we've seen each other, I know that I talked to you like just via text about possibly going to the Stitchery, which is based in Frenchtown, which is in Hunterdon County. I've never been there before.
I've never been there either.
Never been before? Okay. So from my understanding, they also have a huge spinning culture there because of the spinnery. So I figured you'd really enjoy that. But I'm very excited to check them out. I've been to Frenchtown a couple different times. It's a really special place for me and Dan. That was actually where we took our first vacation together.
Oh, that's sweet.
So when we were like first dating several years ago. So it's a really nice place off of the Delaware River. Really cute, boutique-y little town.
And it's also by New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Yep. Tons and tons of fun.
Yep.
But yeah. So I think just like overall with like podcasting and stuff, you know, it's been a while for the two of us, but one of the things that I think we need to talk about is just like going forward, what you guys want to see from the podcast. This literally episode 5, however you want to call it, has been a catch-up episode because it's been so long since Tori and I have been able to hang out like for long periods of time and knit. But also it's our first time coming to you for like a month.
Sorry.
So, no, it's
I
listen, life gets in the way. It didn't help that we had shitty audio on our first rendition of episode 5.
Right.
You know, we're still obviously learning at this. An episode idea that came up to us from one of our longtime viewers, Stephanos, was to do a favorites video, which would be a discussion of all of our favorites for an hour. So, favorites across the board, knitting and otherwise.
And we received feedback, you know, just on things about the podcast, like our audio, you know. We've had people just give feedback on, you know, other points in the podcast, like how people want me to rant more.
Yeah.
And they want to see me die on hills.
Yes. And I think it's really important that if you're enjoying our content, that you just, if you could tell us at all things that you love, that you maybe don't love. The cursing is not going away.
Fuck.
Shit. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Though maybe we're not the podcast for you. Tori does an awesome job of bleeping. So if you don't care for it, I don't know what to tell you.
And also we are, you know, set in our ways, and
yeah,
you know, if you don't like us because of our voices or the way we handle things, or, you know, just generally you're just an unpleasant person and you just want to spread hate wherever you go, we don't care.
We're not here for it.
We like constructive criticism. We don't like regular criticism.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You know, like, I am not going to, you know, I'm not going to let you hate on our parade. We're doing this for funsies. She's doing it more serious than I am.
I'm enjoying the fact that we could make this into something really great, but also still have fun with it. So, if you're not aboard the Knitwives train, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Clearly just exit. It's cool with us.
Yeah, go find another wagon
to hitch your horse to.
And also, Madison got a fancy gadget that will help us make tutorials.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'll show that real quick. Hold on. This is...
Never seen it or heard of it before.
So, I've been looking for one of these. Right now, it looks like it's just a box.
It is a box.
It is a box, but it's a box of wonders. And this is thanks to Jackie, who is the daughter of the owner of Beyond Yarn, Teresa. She makes fabulous content for the store. And I'd seen this before, and I'm breaking it right now. Sorry. Hold on, I gotta lock it in place. But it's essentially a light stand that has, right here, it's got 2 switches to hold your phone.
Ooh.
So you can kind of see it. There you go. And this extends as far as, like, it could go on for ages, but I'm not going to make it. It has an arm that will hold it out, and it holds my phone, and then it has, as the lights will come on. Now it's bright.
Let there be light.
Turn it off. But it allows me to film my hands so I can film tutorials, make reels, do all these fun things. And they can be free resources on our YouTube channel. That was one of the things that one of our subscribers had asked for us, is to start filming tutorials on, you know, different techniques. So different stitch patterns, or, you know, cast-ons, bind-off methods, really anything that you're interested in learning.
Which is, like, why? Because there's already, like, a ton of videos, like great tutorials.
Because we're amazing and she wants to learn from us.
But why?
I don't know. I'm interested in learning from us too. We have content to share.
I'm interested to see what I'll teach.
As long as I don't have to teach the 3-needle bind off, I'll be good.
No, you should teach that, Madison. You should teach that.
No, I'm good. I don't need to teach that ever again.
No, but like the tutorials where there's like a British person just like describing like what
those
to
are
do.
heaven to listen to.
I know. So like we're not British, so why would you listen to us?
Well, if you decide that you'd like us to teach something, show you a quick technique, we now can. So
why?
I'm gonna poke you with my knitting needle.
I told you she was gonna do it.
Anyway.
Help.
Anyway, so now if you want to learn any specific things or you have specific things you want to hear us talking about, leave a comment below, DM us on Instagram, or email us at knitwivesofhunterdoncounty.
We would love to hear from you. We also
love hearing from you.
We're also on Instagram.
Yep, as the real knitwives_Hunterdoncounty. Been posting lots of stories and reels recently, and then there will be more content as there is time allowing.
Yep. Aren't we also on TikTok?
Yes. I believe it's still real knitwives_Hunterdoncounty, but that'll be posted underneath as well.
Of course.
But yeah, so again, our next episode is gonna be our favorites of everything.
Yep.
And that could mean other things other than yarn, other than knitting.
Because you know we're going to go there.
We will.
Because we're stupid, and we will.
Yeah. But yeah, so looking forward to filming that. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good.
Yeah. Listen, we really just want to hear out from our fans. Any feedback that's positive would be nice.
Or constructive. Like,
constructive.
Is
no
great.
meanies. No meanies.
We don't have time for that.
No.
So anyway, but yeah, I think we're good for now.
I think we're good.
And we'll catch you guys in a little while.
On the flip side.
Cool.
On the knit side.
On the knit side. But yeah, so like, subscribe, follow us on all those things. Email us with questions, tips, anything. We're here for you guys. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm Madison.
I'm Tori.
And this has been the Real Knitwives of Hunterdon County. Bye.
Bye. See you on the knit side.
See you on the knit side.